Hello and welcome to the Paper Tuesdays podcast, live here from the Schooner.
Schooner.
The Schooner.
Schooner.
We'll start again. No. So I'm Mark Halpin, he's Michael Dwyer. Michael, who's our guest today?
It's the Buffalo aficionado, it's the musician man himself, it's the character, the heart of Ballygarrett, it's Liam Byrne.
I'm not the heart of Ballygarrett, I'm maybe the left ventricle or something like that. Except the heart. There's bigger hearts around here than me.
Yeah, episode 100, Liam. We wanted to. This is like a State of the Union address with Liam Byrne, okay? And we're coming to you. You know, this is not Capitol Hill. This is the Schooner.
Capitol Hollow.
Oh, Liam, we could have recorded the last half hour there with the crack with the dancing that was going on last Friday and everything.
We had what do you call it? What's that show on Sunday nights? The dance.
Strictly Come Dancing.
Yeah, we had a bit of that here last Saturday night. On Strictly Come Dancing. I wouldn't call it dancing, but no, sorry, I'm interrupting you. Go ahead.
Oh no. Well, like, was it true? Like, it was a closing time of sorts anyway. That it ended.
It was closer to opening time now.
Brilliant. It's a great pub though. The Schooner.
Schooner's a great pub, and when you called me last week and you were saying that, and by the way, congratulations lads on 100 podcasts. It's a great feat. Is that the word feat?
Yes.
It's to start off a podcast. I think it's a bit like everybody thinks they have a book in them, and everybody probably thinks they have a podcast in them. But to start it and to continue it and to get to 100 shows and to keep that momentum going is a great achievement. So congratulations to you all, lads.
Thanks, Steve.
On behalf of myself and all the lads on the band. But no, well done.
Thanks, Steve.
But the Schooner is a great pub. So I see all the number plates around all the.
Yes.
I don't know if you can pan over, maybe you can't. But there's loads of number plates around the Schooner here. And they're all US registered number plates, plates from the States all around the walls. So when Jim Keogh was living in America, he used to rob cars for a living. and they're number plates of all the cars he robbed. So that's the story there.
There's a great one though.
That's a joke, by the way. Yeah. But one interesting fact about the Schooner is the first ever Irishman, Englishman, Scotchman joke that was ever told was told in this bar.
No way.
Wait,
by whom?
I can't remember who it was, but it was told here. We'd like to hear it.
Please.
So there's an Englishman, a Scotchman, an Irishman. They're talking about keeping bees. And the Englishman said, well, I keep 200 bees in my hive. I get 3 jars of honey a week, and my bees are very well looked after. And Scotsman said, well, I keep 400 bees in my hive, and there's plenty of room. I get 5 jars of honey a week, and my bees are very well looked after. And the Irishman said, well, I keep 22,000 bees in my hive, and I get 42 jars of honey every fucking day. And the Englishman said, well, your bees are not very well looked after. And the Irishman said, fuck them. Typical Irish answer to an Irish problem. So that was the very first Englishman, Irishman, Scotsman joke told in this pub.
Oh my God. Jesus.
And if you believe that, you believe anything.
My favourite number plate though is God, Guns and Guts. Made America. And let's keep all three.
Yeah,
the same could be said for Ballygarrett.
Yeah. There's a good few guns around Ballygarrett now.
Yeah?
Yeah, but they're all legally held firearms, for the lads who are shooting in November. They're all legally held. So, God, guns and guns. Yeah, yeah, the same Ballygarrett.
Legally held, illegally used.
That's correct. Notwithstanding the blood spatters on the door down there.
Yeah, we love that.
It's like stepping back in time though. Like that, the front room there hasn't changed a bit though, has it?
No, I don't think it has. There was a film made here about 6 or 7 years ago. The Sea, it was called.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of those kids from the school here were kind of extras in it, and they put chippings on the road to make it look like really old. And they done a little bit of work in the lounge, in the bar. And I think that little bit of work has stayed to this day, just subtle stuff, So that was a bit of excitement around the parish that day. Yeah.
Chippins.
We were talking about pets before we started, and you sang us a little song. Would you like to do it again for us on the podcast?
Sure. Thought you'd never ask. So I'll try and remember this now. I have some of the lyrics on the old what's this called? Phone. So I'll just use the old coffee cup to steady the phone and hope for the best. But anyway, this is myself and my good friend Simon Bezanson, who is actually the subject matter of many of my songs. But Simon and I were in, actually we're all over the town in Gorey one night, but we ended up at Mickleeson anyway, and the three of us ended up in the bash. But anyway, we came out of the Loch Ormond just in time for breakfast, and we had a row on the street about where we should go for the breakfast roll. So myself and the big lad, we were out on the town. We were mad for a sweet breast of chicken. And I said, let her right, so we'll burst on to Tesco. But the big lad said, what are you thinking? There's a shop across the street, the shopping's a treat. Tesco, me bollocks forget. Take with me a stroll for a sweet breakfast roll, and I'll tell you why the big lad loves pettits. Sure, I'm fond of their mate, and their girls are all great. You can tell them a joke and they'd get. Well, they're open queer late, and the parking is cheap, and that's why the big lad loves pettits. The boys are all charming, they support local farming, they deliver if you just can't come get. And you need look no further for a buffalo burger, and that's why the big lad loves pettits. Down at the meat counter, there's a lad built like a bouncer, and he wears an owl hat like the Edge. But lately I seen him kinda daydreaming down by the fruit and the veg. He's fond of the praties and all the pink ladies. I once seen him sniffing the less. Good God Almighty, the crack can be nighty when you do your old shopping in pettits. Well, I'm fond of their mate and their girls are all great. You can tell them a joke and they'd get. They're open queer late and the parking is cheap, and that's why the big lad loves pettits. Well, the boys are all charming, they support local farming, they deliver if you just can't come get. Well, you need look no further for a buffalo burger, and that's why the big lad loves pettits. Well, I've shopped in the mall, sir, from the great to the small, sir, for shopping is a terrible habit. From all the big spenders up in Marks and Spencer's to Tom Redmond's of Ballygarrett. But I was saying to Aidan, you know Aidan, don't you? I was saying to Aidan while we were sunbathing, and I hope I don't live to regret. But says I take for example Mary Roach's free samples, another reason the big lad loves pettits. Well, I'm fond of their mate and their girls are all great. You can tell them a joke and they'll get. All the boys are fuck off. Well, I'm fond of their mate and their girls are all great. You can tell them a joke and they'll get. They're open queer late and the parking's queer cheap, and sure that's why the big lad loves pettits. And the boys are all charming, they support local farming, they deliver if you just can't come get. Sure, you need look no further for a buffalo burger, and that's why the big lad loves pettits.
Hey!
Another one from the Hit Factory.
That was perfect.
Another one from the Hit Factory.
Aidan Doyle. Just that he got in there. Mick
They had
Leeson.
everything.
Really did. Wow. That's special. Just how you work in the humour there, the lad down at the Praties, I was taken with him now. I could see a bit of myself in him, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You know, lost in the world, but found in the fruit and veg, you know.
There you go. Sniffing the lettuce. Stay for the days.
Wow.
Well, you're welcome to Ballygarrett now, lads. And Ballygarrett's your typical Irish village. There's not a whole lot going on here. Now, the graveyard in Ballygarrett is quite an interesting spot. There's a few people of obviously notoriety buried there. The woman that invented the crossword is buried there. As in fact, if you walk in the gate, she's 3 down and 4 across. The man that wrote the Hokey Cokey, he's buried here in Ballygarrett.
Right.
He only died last year, actually, the man who wrote the Hokey Cokey. And I was at the wake over in Hamilton, Kilmuckridge, and it took 3 hours to close the coffin. Every time to put the left leg in, the right leg came out. It just couldn't be done. And then Joe McDonough, now you might know Joe McDonough. He was a Dublin man, but he used to come down here to Ballygarrett on holidays. He owned a big paint company up in Dublin, and he died recently. He's buried down there, and he actually froze to death in the Alps. And the ambulance said he could have done it on the second course.
It's cold.
You're on a paint company.
Oh, yeah.
You're on a paint company. Come on, lads. Comedy gold. You're on a paint company. Hospital said he could have done on the second course. I've been thinking about these jokes all week. Welcome you guys to Ballygarrett.
My gosh.
I haven't got the words here, but I did. Now, actually, you're especially welcome to Ballygarrett because you have big connections here.
Big connections.
Obviously, because your mum teaches my son.
Yes.
Up in school.
Yeah.
And your grandmother
taught
me up in school. Mm. So you have big connections with.
She taught in the old school as well.
She taught in the old school.
Yeah.
That's before my time.
Oh yeah.
just about. But I remember a few years ago they had a green flag day up in school here in Ballygarrett, yes. And I'd always get asked to put up a couple of speakers and a couple of microphones for the speeches, that and the other. But anyway, they were honouring Tack Murphy. You know,
Tack,
they're honouring Tack for he was so many years delivering posts here in Ballygarrett, and they're I'm not sure they're honouring Tack, or maybe they're honouring your grandmother. I can't quite recall, but Tack was there that day. I think, and actually, you know what, they're honouring both of them. A little presentation, and I think Colin Murphy, Colin the horse trainer, he had a good year over in Cheltenham the previous year. I think Colin was on
was some ceremony.
Yeah, it's very those days up in the school in Ballygarrett are just magical. They really make you feel this is where we're from, Yeah. But anyway, there was just. I remember your grandmother talks about Tack Murphy, and Tack would be coming in with the post to the school, and he'd go up to the window and he'd be making faces at the children, and she'd be trying to keep him quiet, and he'd be there making faces and driving them wrong, Well, so that's right. So you have good connections with this place, Michael,
Yeah. Were you going to play the place where we love, or what?
Oh, I haven't got all. But anyway, the chorus was so. Oh yeah, so Seamus Kennelly was the principal at the time, and it was last couple of years of his tenure. But I had wrote a whole song. I can't remember; it was too long. But the chorus was, "We're not," and the kids. I had never sang it before. I wrote it that morning of the presentation, and put the 2 sheets of paper up and had to sing it. And kids are like sponges; they just. By the time I sang the second chorus, they had it off to a T, No. And I wasn't expecting that. I had to recoil a little bit, but we're not in New York City. We're not in New York City. Or London. That's what the key. We're not in New York City or London town. No wonders of the world are here to be found. From Killena to Cahors, it's all you could ask and so much more. And this is where we're from. And that was just the chorus. But the kids rattled, they had it like that, And there was just a little bit about all the musicians and the pubs and the church and the graveyard and the school, and just a little pick of everything in the village, the tidy towns, and the little pick of everything went into the song. And every 2 or 3 verses we hit it with the chorus. Now, the kids had the chorus like that, It was great. Great. I don't know what brought me to that. Sorry.
But now the Buffalo are part of Ballygarrett. How are the Buffalo since we saw them last?
Good. Yeah.
Has your herd increased? Or?
Yeah, the herd increases and decreases according, because obviously you're harvesting the animals, and so it decreases. But then we take in more calves, but it's going well. Yeah, no, I haven't got a letter from Larry Goodman asking me to shut up shop yet or anything. No, he's not shaking in his boots or anything. But no, it's going fine, and we're pretty contented with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Must be great to have good people around you, like the Richie Doyle. That partnership has worked well.
Yeah, look, do you know what? You couldn't do it on your own. You could only do so much on your own. But yeah, we partnered up with our butcher 2 years next August. So I wholesale into Richie. I grow the animal. I sell the meat. I find new customers. And Richie does all the make the burgers, cut the steaks, do all the delivering, do all the invoicing. So it's a partnership between Richie Doyle's and ourselves. And Richie Doyle and his son or sons, they're the last kind of family butcher / abattoir in the county. Sorry, there's only 2 left as far as I know. There's Byrne up in Camolan and Richie Doyle and Sons in Wexford. And they're the last two family butchers in County Wexford, to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah. And talking about people around you, you had the right day out yesterday. What the man from Camolan that supported you and is still supporting you with the man that's got stuck in Seoul as well.
Oh,
sorry.
yes.
I can't remember his name.
I was out of action there for a couple of days during the week, and I had to make a trip down to Cork and then up to Clare, and so my pal Sammy from Camolan gave me a call and said, Liam, I'll drive you. Pick me up at 8:30 and I'll do the driving. You sit back and relax. So listen, we all need a little bit of support around us, don't we? Whether it's a friend or some family or whoever it is, And when something happens in our lives and we're not well or a bit low, your friends come knocking on the door. See a missed call there from a good friend of mine, Vinny Dorn. Now Vinny's ringing to see what the crack is and how I'm doing. So yeah, so we all need that, don't we?
We do, yeah.
We all need that bit of support. Yeah, but the Buffalo's going well, and we're contented enough with the way it's going,
But like when you described your day yesterday, I kind of envied you a little, I have to say. Like, I love fitting in as much things as possible into my life. Right. Like this morning's training chaps, now I'm doing a podcast. Later I'm hurling Junior B. You went off, you picked up a few.
Junior B.
Yeah. I've a lad, we're playing Buffers Alley, Liam.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lad, and I'm going to shout it out to him. There's a fella for Buffers Alley, and he's called Wellies. And Wellies is a problem with me. Well, Wellies, we're going to have it out now today at 5 o'clock.
Where's
an ongoing feud? In Monamalone. Monamalone, yeah.
Monamalone. I might go up.
There'll be more than the blood spatters there on the wall now. Yeah.
You go to the abattoir.
But like that, you had a busy day yesterday. In that you packed in, like no one in Ireland, I think, collected exactly.
You did yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got up yesterday morning, and I got my chaps out for school, and then got into the van. I went up to collect my friend Sam, and then we drove to Cork to Ballincollig, and we collected some meat, buffalo meat from an abattoir there, and then we took the lovely drive up to Liscannor to County Clare, and I'd done a gig there for day 2 of a wedding. The groom was from Louth and the bride from Cork, and they got married in Clare, and they got married the day before, and they had a day 2 party, and I was playing for that, and I played from like 4 until about 7:30, and then we just packed up the gear and came home. We got home around 12. I actually felt, I fell asleep in the van. Sammy was driving. Fell asleep in the van, and when I woke up, we were at a place I was never in before, Redmond's Pub in Scar Welsh.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
And I was never there before.
You had stop there?
I didn't. I thought it was home. Sammy gave me a couple of boxes. Now, Liam. And I could see, because we're outside someone's house. I went home. And I said, no, we're going in here for coffee. So I was never in there before. So we had a coffee and a chat. And it was a great pub. Some pub. Tiny, like.
Yeah.
And you sit in someone's living room and you have a drink or your key or whatever. It's brilliant.
It's a hardware shop, a pub.
No, it's not the hardware shop.
Oh, it's a different one, is it?
No, are you thinking of Phil Redmond's and Ryan Duff?
Yes, that's
That's the place to go.
You can buy
that is
a box of nails, a stick of butter, and a pint.
You can. I was going to a gig in, I don't know, somewhere, outside Wexford about 6 months ago. And I stopped in Phil Redmond's on the way to buy a slash hook. It's true. It was that kind of a gig. But that's true. That's true. It was, but you're dead right. You can get everything from a box of nails to a slash juice to a bag of calf nuts to a pint, slice, loaf of bread, some ham, and another bag of calf nuts.
And it's about the size of this, like this.
And we think Aldi have it all. Yeah. You go to Aldi, you can get a swimsuit. Aldi is nothing on Phil Redmond's round up. I'll tell you that. You won't get a bag of calf nuts in Aldi.
No, you said it. But have you played in the Pike Inn before in Camolan?
I did not. No, I don't.
No,
think
I'm going to throw that in there as another class pub for. It's like a sitting room, as you say.
Yeah.
Whereas this fella, Ger Busher from Wexford.
Oh, I know Ger,
Yeah, plays a quite good set. He's some singer.
He's still gigging.
Oh yeah, he was
seen him
only
recently?
gigging 2 or 3 months ago there, just before Christmas. Yeah.
Man, Ger.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Ger in years. There was Ger, and he used to play with his brother Paddy Busher, and Paddy passed away. So there's Ger and the Bushers, and they used to gig so much back in the 80s and maybe early 90s. I'm not sure up to when, but the Bushers were so popular back in the day, you know.
Yeah.
But there's loads of places like that lads around, isn't there?
Yeah, but they're gems. Like, yeah.
We can't lose them.
No.
Fools at the Gap.
The Gap? I haven't been. Oh, yes. Yeah. I was there a few months ago. Yeah.
There's a great story about I'm not sure who used to own it way back. I presume it was old Mr. Phelan. I never knew the man. But a sales rep came in one time and he was, because like so many pubs, they had a pub and a shop, you know, pub and a shop. And the sales rep came in one day and he was selling whatever tea and coffee or whatever it was, I don't know what. But he was also selling toothbrushes. And he said, now we have a special on a range of toothbrushes. And there was a shelf up. There was a shelf up on around the shop. And there was loads of toilet roll. Packed up with toilet roll. Toothbrushes. Yeah, toothbrushes, special on toothbrushes. He said, look up around that shelf. He said, what do you see? And the rep looked up and said, toilet rolls. No, toilet rolls. Exactly, toilet rolls. He said, there's lads around here who are sitting and whip their asses, mine brush their teeth. That's true.
Oh, that's very good. That's very good. So what was the best song that went down yesterday? Like at that afters of a wedding?
There's a great question now. I think it was, God, do you know something? I don't know. I don't know what the best song was. They were a really lively crowd, but about 4 songs in, I'd done this big long medley of songs, you know. So they just start dancing and you do everyone. Jolene, 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 Jolene. And then you go. And then a turn upon a fork stuck in the road. And you just keep it going, song to the end. You go, July, please, I'm on my knees, the smell of your fresh cut grass. Blue sky rains and all it sins, and looking out their doors, just leave our ass. And at this stage, everyone's up and dancing and having a bit of, so you don't stop. So you go, you could go, almost heaven, West Virginia, where is mountain, Shenandoah River, and then you go. Well, you keep saying you got something for me, something you call love, confess. You've been messing the way you shouldn't be messing, and now someone is getting on your best. And these boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. And one of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. And then you go, I took a stroll on the old long walk in the D-I-A-I-A. And then you go, if they're still dancing, keep them dancing, the fuck. That's what you're there for, then. Keep them dancing, the fuck. And then you go, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You were talking about this in last week's podcast. You make me happy when skies are gray. I sure listen. If you ask me what went down with the best, and you get that takes about 20 minutes to do the whole set.
Yeah.
20 minutes to do the whole set of songs, 20 minutes and the harmonica and the drum machine and the place will be hopping.
Yeah.
And this is only half hour in the evening.
Well, you could see them change, and you could know, when I play this out, they're going to love that.
Yeah.
That's class.
You know what? I always think when you're doing a gig, if you're good at reading a room, you're like a snooker player. A snooker player is always thinking 2 or 3 shots ahead.
Yeah.
He's taking this shot, but he's thinking about the next one, the one after that. And it's the same for me anyway.
Yeah.
When you're playing a gig, you're playing this song, and it comes out automatically, but you're thinking about what you're going to play next. What worked well now?
Yeah.
They've been up dancing for 20 minutes. They're going to take a break. They're going to get a drink. They're going to sit down. They're going to go for a cigarette or go to the toilet, knock out a ballad, and now you get a sing-along going. So you're always thinking 2 or 3 songs ahead.
Yeah. This is our 100th episode. Things have changed, Liam. We've done a few things have happened in our lives anyway. We've done a Patrick's Day parade, and Mark is going to be a father. Yeah.
We done our own in the sitting room.
Wandering around the sofa.
I let you be Grand Marshal this year.
Yeah, Michael's in a go-kart.
Sorry, I continue.
And this man is going to be a father.
I'm going to be a dad. Yeah,
congratulations.
thank you very much.
Well done.
A lot of hard work went into it.
Sure.
Also, we've done a live show since then.
We did a live show.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. And that went well.
Yeah, we're going to do another on the 22nd of April.
It was lovely.
Yeah,
Brilliant, lads. Lovely.
And Basil Kennedy is going to be there anyway. And Shane Byrne.
The rugby player.
Do you have a song about him yet? No.
Actually, been working on it.
Yeah.
Well, he would be from not too far from Avoca. Of course, you know the fields of Avoca well, don't you?
Too well.
Too well.
Too well. Me and Joan.
And I got engaged, James.
Did you?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Great stuff. It's all happening, by the
It's all happening.
Do you mind if I blow my nose?
You work away there.
I'm just getting all emotional with all this.
Yeah.
Babies and weddings.
Allergic to it.
Allergic to it.
That's great. Just all go.
I'll go.
That's
Yeah.
deadly.
Yeah.
When's the wedding?
2024. The Heritage at Kilnard. Have you ever been there?
Yeah. Lovely spot. Yeah. Done a couple of gigs there. Really nice spot. You don't golf, do you?
No, but a nice course there. Yeah, not yet.
I don't golf.
You do that when you babbies, isn't that it?
Yeah, get
And
away from
when's the baby due?
end of May.
Deadly.
8 weeks from today.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah.
Around the corner.
Fucking flies around.
Deadly. Deadly.
Yeah.
Any life advice as a father of 3,
Jesus,
2?
No, Christ, no. Well, I know when we have 3 kids, and I do know that once we had the second, we realised we only wanted 1. I'll tell you this.
And you'll tell me no more.
This is a story I always tell at weddings
All right.
by way of advice and I tell the story all over this country, right? And it goes down the storm. So at the end of a wedding, the last song I always play for a small wedding is "All You Need Is Love" by the Beatles.
All right.
All you need is love. All you need is love. And I play that, and everyone's out dancing, and the bride and groom. It's great crack.
Yeah.
But then I slow it down and I tell the story. And I said, "No, I want a show of hands for all the married men, all the married men." Show of all the married women. So this is a bit of advice now for the newly married couple on behalf of all the married people who've met as you go forward in your married life. This is a story about a rabbit, right? Not just any old mixy rabbit. This rabbit is very special. It was a Wexford rabbit, lived in Gorey. This rabbit used to go down to the train track in Gorey train station every single day, and he'd wait for the train to come. And every day he'd stand at the edge of the track, and he'd wait for the train to come. And every day he'd jump across the track in front of the train. And every day he'd try and leave it a split second later just to see how late he could leave it. Until one day, he left a split second too late. The train came along and cut off his little white fluffy tail. Feeling very sorry for himself, the rabbit turned around to pick up his little white fluffy tail. And as he picked it up, another train came along and cut off his head. And the moral of the story for you before you get married is you should never lose your head over a little bit of fluff. Are you with me? that goes for your good half. Yeah. And remember, if you have €5 and your wife has €20, your wife has €25. Mathematics for the married man.
No, lads, I may go. I'll leave you to it.
Right,
Thanks very much, Liam.
Best of luck.
Best of luck
Thanks
now.
for coming.
Best of luck. Best of luck with the new Babs.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.
I need it.
Jesus is on the protein, the whole lot, man.
No battery.
What's in
No
that?
battery, or I keep an eye on it.
You should get this is an energy.
Oh, no. You can feel it, ain't they?
Oh yeah, he's a personal trainer, surely.
Are you, Pete? Oh, really, are you?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Where?
Hasn't doing the GA club there.
Man.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Well, that explains it. It wasn't just a fluke, so.
Best of luck, Mark.
Right, Mark,
I'll
take it
keep an eye on
handy.
it. Yeah. Good luck. So Liam, you were listening to a few of our podcasts lately, and you were taken with Sting.
I was listening today to your most recent podcast, and you were talking about songs. Well, you led off. You're talking about songs that had different meanings than what we would have maybe thought. Was it?
Yeah.
And you started off with Springsteen, which I was delighted with because I'm a massive Bruce fan. Or my mother used to call him loose windscreen. Turn down that loose windscreen. That fucking loose windscreen. And you can't count past 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That bloody loose windscreen. So, but then you start talking about Sting.
Yeah.
Now, Sting, when he dies, they won't call him Sting.
All right.
No, they're going to call him Stone. Stone. But you were talking about his sex life.
Yeah.
What is it?
Tantra. There was something. Yeah. What was it to do with tantra?
Tantric sex.
Yeah.
Right.
But what was it again to do with the tantra?
He said that Sting doesn't move. Well, I've been having that for years. I have been having that for years. Because my wife has always said, would you move? Would you do something? Come on, put in a bit of effort. So I've been having that for years.
My God.
Fair play to Sting. Or Stone.
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 And what's the song he sings that we were...
Every breath you take.
Yeah. Was it a bit obsessive?
Yeah, but I was trying to write.
Yeah.
Every breath you take, every buffalo sting, every birthday cake, I'll be fucking watching you.
My God. You're a big Bruce man, though.
Bruce Springsteen entered my life in 1984 when I was 11. And I think from that day to this, his music plays a huge part in my life. And so many, it's just, look, Springsteen, millions of people love his music, and everybody else in the world don't know what they're missing. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
But his music, you can chart. It's a bit obsessive in a sense, but you can chart different parts of your life according to his music, you know. And like when Bruce kind of became very popular in Ireland, it was 1984, and the way there was an English music invasion in the 60s in America, you know, with the Beatles and the Stones and the Who and all the rest of it. And then, but in the 80s, there was kind of the reverse of that with the MTV. And then in Ireland, we had MTUSA with Vincent Hanley. You don't remember that? No. So MTV came on our screens, came on the screens in cable TV in the 80s. So video became a huge thing for music, you know. And then Vincent Hanley had an Irish show every Sunday, and you would not miss it for the world. MTUSA, Music Television USA, and it was on RTE. And Vincent Hanley, I think he died of AIDS. In fact, he didn't. I don't think he did. But his show was so important to Irish music fans because we could see all these American bands and their videos, you know. But so I think in the 80s, Ireland was exposed to an awful lot of Americana. You know, American football came on the TV. You know, the American shows like Dallas and Dynasty and all those shows were big on TV in Ireland. Then there was the Olympics were in Los Angeles in '84. Then Ronald Reagan came to Ireland, and he was very much a television president, you know. So there was a lot of Americana that came to Ireland, and part of that, like, and then the big bands were like Lionel Richie and Madonna, you know, you Bon Jovi, and you had like Aerosmith, and you had all those Michael Jackson and all the huge singers and bands, and Bruce just happened to hit his peak in terms of his commercial stardom in 1984 with his album Born in the USA, and I heard that album, and I was drawn into him and his music and his look and the way he came from. Absolutely, he just believed he had to be a musician and nothing else. Whether it ever came to stardom or not, he just had to be a musician, you know. And his music has entered my life pretty much on a daily basis ever since, at one time or another, you know.
Yeah.
Whether I'm singing one of his songs in my head, or I put on some of his music if I'm out driving or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Something I always listen to a bit of Bruce.
That's something special when you say about the sense that, like, I have to do this. You know, like this is something inside me that has to be expressed, that I have to get it out there.
Yeah. You for him?
Like for him, yeah.
Yeah.
But like we all have that urge as well, don't we?
Yeah, I wouldn't be playing that if it wasn't for him. He wouldn't be playing that if it wasn't for Elvis Presley. He was, in 1956, he was watching the Ed Sullivan Show with his mother. And Elvis is on, and he's seen Elvis. And Bruce always said, Elvis freed your body the way Bob Dylan freed your mind.
Okay.
You know, and he just saw Elvis, and his mother brought him down to a small music shop near their house in New Jersey, and for that Christmas, she bought him a guitar, and his fingers were too small to play it. But then when he was 15 or 16, he got another guitar, and he started to learn, because he wasn't the type of guy that was going to fit in with the football team or the baseball team or whatever it was. He and a bunch of other guys from the Jersey Shore, they were complete outsiders. Steve Van Zandt and Southside Johnny Lyons and all those guys, they were complete outsiders. And all they had was rock and roll music, and that was their thing, you know. And for so many shore musicians around New Jersey, you know, that was their thing, because they didn't fit in anywhere else, in school, in sports, in college, nothing. No, it was just music, you know, and there was no plan B. It was this or bust.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I've always loved him. I've always loved his music, and yeah.
And say that's not Born in the USA. You know how that he's there's an underlying political message there. Like, obviously I don't really know his music that well, but I take it some is about like his own personal stuff, and others is commentary on politics or what.
You know, some of my favorite songs are his acoustic numbers. Like, he has a song that nobody hardly knows called "The Hitter," and it's from his 2005 album "Devils and Dust." But in this song, he narrates a story. He tells stories, and if you sit and listen to them, you can actually visualize what he's talking about in your head. And it's almost like a scene from the songs, like scenes from a film or something. But in this song, he talks about, come to the doormat and unlock the chain. I was just passing by and got caught in the rain. And he goes to the door. His mother doesn't want to let him in because he was trouble. The character now. The character in the song. And the character in the song discovered that he had a knack for boxing. So he went off boxing, illegal boxing, you know, and then taking a dive, taking the easy money rather than fighting to win. He was fighting to just earn money. And if someone paid him $100 to win, and someone else paid him $150 to fall, he'd fall. And that was the character in the song, you know. And he has this way of writing a song. Born in the USA doesn't even come close to some of the songs that he just has this way of putting it out there, telling a story. And I can only speak for myself as a fan, but really on this hugely emotional level, creating a scene that you can visualize in your own head, this happening, you know. Like there's and complex stories. He can fit a very complex story into a 4-minute song.
Yeah.
He tells the story of a Vietnamese guy coming to live and work on a fishing boat in the Gulf of Mexico off the Texas coast.
Yeah.
And how the local fishermen resent this, and the Vietnamese, the guy from Vietnam, his name is Lee Bin Son, and the local guys call in the Texas clan to kill Lee Bin Son, you know, but Lee Bin Son pulls the knife on the clan man, and the clan man dies, and then there's a court case, but just this amazing story. If you listen to the song 2 or 3, and I'll send you a link to the song, and you tell me if I'm wrong. This amazing story that's full of emotion, and it's told in 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And you can see 2 or 3 or 4 people's lives played out in 4 minutes if you really listen to it. And I think that's for me, that's what's amazing about him. You know?
But they're the songs that pack a punch. Like when you think of, I love No Frontiers. I would listen to that all day long. And again, it's 4 minutes, but like what Jimmy McCarthy is trying to write there is life. What how we end up with what the box of, you know, that are where fear loses its grip. Yeah. You know, these sort of lines, like, and
fear will lose and heaven
have its way.
Yeah.
You know, and like that we're all.
See, words are powerful, aren't they?
They are.
Words are powerful.
Yeah. Do you know what? I heard a great line recently, Liam, and you'll love this, I think. That like you were able to give the essence of a story, and with story you have to choose the right words and everything. Like, but you and I can sit here and we can use the word ocean, like, but we don't have to go down to the ocean and touch the ocean. But like we can both accept what the word ocean is by just saying it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and in the same way, it's the choice of those words to actually evoke what emotion we're using. It's powerful, all right.
Now, when you have powerful words with the right music attached to it, like it can be very emotive and it can be very, very. It can hit you like a hammer.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I always was just taken with Bruce and his band and his music, you know.
Yeah.
And his story.
Yeah.
You know.
Have you any other local ballads?
Well, Did I sing?
The Independent Trainer.
Did I sing that?
Yeah, but you go again.
Are we doing it again?
Oh yeah. We have to, especially when we're over across the road.
Across the road from Thomas Redmond's. So I'll dedicate this to Thomas and Mary Redmond, God rest their souls, and I'll dedicate it to Bobby and Gavin and Tom and Emily. If you're ever down from Dublin, down along the coast, down in the sunny southeast, Thomas Redmond has a grand little shop, the shop with the stock, if you please. He'll sell you petrol, he'll sell you diesel, he's open early and late. If you're going fishing in Cahors or down in Donaghmore, Tommy is the man with the bait. Now Tommy has potions to make up lotions to cure all kinds of cramp. Or if you've got the letter for Brendan Murphy, Tommy is the man for the stamp. And he loves Elvis and Johnny Cash, and he loves Man United. But mention to him a supermarket and that man gets excited. Oh, Jesus. And he'll say, I'm not little and I'm not Aldi and I'm not Gallagher. Well, I'm not Tesco, I'm not Pettit's, I'm not Eden Wafer. But I'll sell to the local, sell to the visitor, sell to the Dublin bader. My name is Thomas Redmond and I'm an independent trader. It's a grand day today, Tommy might say, and it could be pissing rain outside. This week's wine is only $7.99. Mary had a little bottle last night. The meat is fresh and the fish is too. Everything is on special offer. Even the wine comes in on time for the row, 'cause the van is drove by the boxer. His price at the pumps would give you goosebumps. I've often heard it said. But you know the story, you wouldn't get the gory driving with the car on the red. He'd sell snow to the Eskimos and to the Arab. He'd sell cement to Jimmy and Paddy Casey. But mention to him a supermarket and that man could go crazy. And he'll say, I'm not little and I'm not Aldi and I'm not Gallagher. Well, I'm not Tesco, I'm not Pettit's, I'm not Eden Wafer. But I sell to the local, sell to the visitor, sell to the Dublin bader. My name is Thomas Redmond, I'm an independent trader. So, the next time you are passing through Ballygarrett near the sea, take a little Wammas into Mary and Thomas. Do you know what a Wammas is?
Is it a short walk?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
That happens to rhyme with Thomas, thanks be to God. Take a little Wammas into Mary and Thomas and tell him you're talking to me. You'll have a laugh with all his staff and spend a small fortune while you're there. But not a word about the fella down the road, or that man might go spare. And he'll say, I'm not little and I'm not Aldi, I'm not Gallagher. Well, I'm not Tesco, I'm not Pettit's, I'm not Eden Wafer. But I sell to the local, sell to the visitor, sell to the Dublin bader. My name is Thomas Redmond. I'm an independent, quite contented, highly recommended, not easily offended, loved and remembered, loved and remembered, loved and remembered trader.
Oh, beautiful. Beautifully. That's gorgeous.
There you are.
It's gorgeous. That song, as long as that song is live or is played, he'll be alive. Like it's just, it's
Right, but you want to hear like I was gigging here last week or week before, and I'm sure everybody, it's great. You stand up there and you play it, and everybody sings the chorus.
yeah.
Great buzz, you know.
But your creativity is still flowing. You're going to be playing this summer in the Gorey Market House Fair, yeah?
Yeah, myself and Noel Dunbar, I'll be doing some Christie numbers, and I'll do a few of our own numbers, and Noel's going to play electric guitar and keyboard, and we'll be on the Sunday evening. We were supposed to do 2020, but obviously that went belly up. And so we're going to take Tom Waits' song Jersey Girl, and we're going to turn it inside out and upside down, and we're going to write a song called Gory Girl. So we're going to a bit of crack, you know.
Something special about that. That's going to be a class night
Yeah,
as well.
we're looking forward to it. Yeah, we're looking forward to it now.
Yeah.
You know, because those type of gigs don't come around too often. So,
no.
So we're delighted to be asked to play, and we look forward to it now, I have to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
And like you're a big wedding, obviously and you must be booked up, I'd say, for next while. But like weddings are a big thing for you. Do you were almost tempted to go for registrar or celebrant?
You know what? I told you that on the phone.
Yeah.
I had a notion that there's such a backlog of weddings now, and civil ceremonies are quite popular, and I was going to go do a course for solemnizer, is that the word?
Oh yes, yeah.
I suppose if you can't say it, you can't be
yeah.
solemnizer. So I went looking at the course, but all the courses were booked up, so I wasn't the only one with brainwave. So I have yet to go down that road, but it'd be a nice job marrying people.
Yeah.
You know, wouldn't it be a lovely job?
But yeah, but like you're an extension of that already. Like if you're at the musician, like you go in and you're continuing the dance and all, and I know that's what you bring anyway, but that's what you want to do when you go to a wedding.
Yeah, you want to bring people together with your music and your gig and your performance. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Yeah, I never thought of it like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez, you're a great man, Liam. Any choir stories for me? Or wild jokes there?
Jesus, now let me think for a second.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
I'd say you've many, like you were. You can go in with an interview, but like you could have. There was a podcast available just before we started, like in the stories you told and everything. The crack, the people you know.
Thomas. There's everyone has some mighty stories, but there was Thomas. Thomas Bezanson used to own Porter's Pub in Killarney, and it's country pub, it's no frills their way. But these ladies came down, they were down for a weekend from Dublin, and they came in and they asked Tom for the wine list. And Thomas said, red or white? That's what we have, red or white. I want to say, but surely you have a wine list. So Thomas went over to the till and tore off a piece of paper off the till and wrote down red or white. No, here's a list. Story like that. Used to be I can't think of the man's name. I can't think of his name now. We used to play in O'Brien's every this is going back thick in 30 years. Used to play the accordion. Can't think of the man's name. A local man, I think. But used to play in kind of every tune he played in the accordion was kind of the same, But back then the pubs were back, didn't matter who was playing and what was on. But this woman came up and says, Mr. Murphy, your music and your accordion playing is absolutely fantastic. Thanks very much. So, would you be able to play a tune for me called Miss McLeod's Reel? Miss McLeod's Reel, I played that for you, no bother. So the woman went off, sat down, back to her husband, picked up a drink and waiting. The man knocked out this tune on the accordion. It was the same as last tune. And she came back up and said, that piece you played, she said, was lovely. But she said, I don't think that was Miss McLeod's Reel. I said, it surely was Miss McLeod's Reel. Oh, she says, I don't think so. But he says, don't forget there was two Miss McLeods. There's so many stories you just couldn't make up,
Brilliant. That's brilliant.
There's so many stories you just couldn't make up.
Yeah.
You couldn't write some of the stuff. Yeah, I'll tell you, I have a load of stories for the 150th podcast.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
What's the plan for you anyway? Is it going to continue on?
Yeah, sure. We just like, I know it's a professional setup. Like with more wires coming out of us today is I don't know, like RTE, but like we're taking it casual, and I think obviously Mark and I are a bit different, but I'd be more serious and all. And the more I relax into it, the more I actually enjoy it. Yeah. It's special because Mark and I are friends in school, like it's just to think that we've come from driving around and going to Annachurra and wild places like that in South Wicklow and North Wexford, and we go off our drives and we just talk and talk. And sure, you have friends like that. Yeah. Sure, I said the conversations you and Sam had yesterday. It's a great quality of friendship, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. And it's another great quality of friendship. When you have old friends and you mightn't see them for 6 months, or it could be a year, it could be even longer, and then you meet up and you just pick up right from where you left off.
Yes.
Without any, that speaks a lot of friendship.
It's a beautiful thing,
yeah. It really does,
Yeah. But like, it's great to be able to. The deeper you get into something, the more enjoyable it is, I think. Yeah. And like we're pretty deep now in this podcast, the listenership is like it's only around 100 or so, but we're really happy with our loyal listeners, and we just want to keep going and keep enjoying it, like it's a hobby, as anything.
That's it. And when you do work that you enjoy, it's never work, is it?
No,
it really isn't.
No,
it's like that, And look, there was 2 years there where I didn't really pick that up very much because of COVID and this, that, and the other. And then when I went back to playing last year, back to gigging, I realised I still loved it.
Yes.
And I still enjoyed it more than ever, maybe,
Yeah.
More than ever. Even though I'm a bit older and, maybe the driving is... no, actually it's not. I still enjoy going to a gig and I'm playing down in South Wexford tonight somewhere. I forget where it is, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting there. Never been there before.
Yeah.
Seeing new people. Put on my best gig I can and and try to be loved.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, it's easier to do that. Well, when you have a fresh audience, like it's a greater opportunity for that, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
That's what. So yeah, I enjoy it more than ever. I think. You know,
Yeah.
Which is thank God, because gigging is a tough thing to do if you don't want to do it. You don't
Yeah.
want to get into the car. You don't want to go to work on a Saturday night. You want to go wherever your friends are going or whatever it might be.
Yes.
You know. But though, I look forward to it.
It's kind of like it's moved from. I was telling a friend about this yesterday. You know, we busy lives and all, and we go. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to do that. No. Rethink it. I get to do this.
Yeah.
I get to do that.
Yeah.
I get to go to South Wexford.
Yeah.
You
that's
know.
it. Yeah.
That's the beauty.
Well,
of it,
that's I
isn't it?
never thought of it. Yeah, I get to. Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get to do this and I get to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Life is brilliant. Shane is flying out at the producer stuff as well, and we're happy out. Yeah. Have we any other crack for you, Liam? No, I think Liam, would you like to play us a song to play us out, or? Oh, actually, do you know what I have for you? I have a flash flood for the 100th episode.
Oh, jeez.
Yes.
About the Flash.
Yeah, he's a humdinger here. Oh yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Flash Flood. I'll be with you
The
shortly.
fake technology. 1 second there, Flash. Hold on there.
The state of the motorways at the minute is nothing short of a thundering disgrace. Obviously, off last week, it was the China virus. I'm driving up here now, and I was driving to Florence Monday night, and I can see it there as well. But the ragwork thrown on the side of the road is nothing short of outrageous. It's a pest of a plant, and nothing is being done about it. There's ragwork coming up to 4 foot high there on the side of the road. And what's being done by the council? Nothing. They're too busy sitting in their cabins drinking tea and having fags. Council need to get off their holes now and get rid of that ragwork off the side of the road. That's nothing more than an eyesore.
Now.
Well, he got in a rhyme at the end. They're nothing more than an eyesore.
Oh, so yeah,
Well done.
there could be lyric in Floody. Yeah. What do you feel about ragwork, Liam?
Well, I think you should call the same as Jackie Healy Ray, or one of them talk about the rhododendrons.
No, yeah.
In Killarney National Park, he wanted the army called in.
Oh, yes, that's
Remember
right.
that? So
Yeah.
I think we should
The army.
make a call on the army.
Yeah.
You know, to come in and get rid of the ragwort.
Yeah.
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 I think
Absolutely.
I think he has a good shout there.
Yeah. The China virus, he's complaining about that. Here, who was right, Liam? Will Smith or Chris Rock?
What's this about now?
Oh, did you? The slap in the Oscars.
Didn't hear about
You
it.
didn't hear this?
Yeah, no, I'm joking. Who was right? I couldn't give a hoot nanny.
Mark was saying it, but
No.
it was very true that like we've had the pandemic, vaccine, now we've the Ukrainians and the war, and now we've had slapping on the Oscars. Like, oh, did you see the slap?
Yeah.
It was much better news for that.
Yeah. Who was right? I don't know. Are there more doors or wheels in the world?
Are there more doors or wheels?
Did you not hear that? Have you not heard that? No.
No.
Have you?
Yeah, that debate.
There's a huge debate going on around it.
Like it's just general question. Do you think there's more doors or more wheels?
Are there more doors or more
I
wheels?
say wheels.
Yeah.
Would you not?
Think about it now. I think you're right too. But now that'll bug you.
Oh, but now that I say it, I was going, oh yeah, sure, a car door, or car tire, but sure, a car is 4 or 5 doors as well.
Who is the biggest producer of tires in the world?
Oh, I think
Lego.
Lego, yeah.
Lego, that's right.
Yeah,
go.
that man is back.
Where did the word news come from?
Oh, New England, I don't know. Where?
North, east, west, south. N-E-W-S. Thank you.
Oh.
There you are. I am full of shit like that.
Well, the recorder's died here, so we might get the last song. Yeah, we might get the last song on your camera.
Yeah, that's going on.
Yeah,
Yeah. I would go there.
lovely. Have you got the Fields of Avoca, or what would you like to do,
Did
Liam?
we do Did we do the last day? Did we do the weekend in Amsterdam?
No.
Did we not?
No.
Okay.
Very popular destination.
Mass.
Yeah. Actually, Conor Moore is there at the moment there. And
For-
there's a Navana contingent gone to the European Parliament, and I think they might even get the chance to meet our own MEP, Mick Wallace.
Mick.
Yeah.
Come on, Mick. What are they going over there for? Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this is a song.
Well, they've gone to Brussels and Amsterdam. Sorry.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, this is a song that always reminds me of my stag weekend, which
Oh,
was
right.
actually in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And now a small stag. There was 4 of us went over. Only 3 of us came back. One of the lads stayed over there. He got a job as a window cleaner. And you know yourself, the windows in Amsterdam now filthy dirty. So
That's very
so this is the weekend in Amsterdam.
lovely.
I forget who wrote this, but Christy sang it and then I sang it, and so we're all singing it now.
Yeah.
Oh, before Sinead married me, myself and the boys went on a spree. A brand new passport in me hand, we all fecked off to the Netherlands. Myself and Dinny, the wire and skirt, down at the boat we were all half cut. We opened up the duty free, oh, the red lemonade and the brandy. Oh, jeez, it was lovely. Everything was going to plan. It was a weekend that we spent in Amsterdam. Our first stop was a coffee shop. In we went and we all sparked up. Hashish from Pakistan, Morocco, Nepal, the Lebanon. All the boys were rolling joints. Some of them forgot to drink their pints. The water pipe came bubbling round. We took one pull and we hit the ground. Everything was going grand on the weekend that we spent in Amsterdam. Next we went to the Blarney Stone. Paddy Wynn had the Leinster final on. The Lily Whites, the boys in blue, the Major and the Tato. And we went over to Mulligan's for the night. The bar was licking, the band was shite. The Borg, the Bono and the Wolf Tones, till then he grabbed the microphone and he gave us Van de Man on the weekend that we spent in Amsterdam. Macker says, now while we're here, we'll take a look at the kinky gear. I said a little prayer, I wouldn't meet anyone from Ballygarrett here. I tell you, it was big old dildos and blow-up dolls, strap-on tools and hairy balls, vibrators, whips and chains, zips, old fanny ticklers. God save me from all harm on the weekend that we spent in Amsterdam. Next we went for a midnight walk. Our eyes were out like stalks. Gay bars and bordellos, models in the windows with no clothes. Dinny danced all night with the South American transvestite. Everything was going grand till Dinny fucking dropped the hand. Oh, there was pandemonium the weekend that we spent in Amsterdam. I'll just tell you about Dinny's girl now. Dinny's girl. Dinny's girl. Dinny's girl with the Mickey was 6'10", a lowland heavyweight champion. She hit Dinny a whore of a box. The boys ran amok and we wrecked the shop. We could hear the squad car getting near. It's time, boys, we were out of here. And Dinny pulled up his crotchless tights and we disappeared into the night. He had nothing but the handcuffs on. All the weekend that we spent in Amsterdam. Now the Queen Beatrix rides her bike, Rembrandt hanging at the Reich, Ajax, Heineken, Van Gogh, the Gargle, the Ganji. Monday morning I was walking like a cripple with a pair of ice grips hanging off my nipples. I didn't know whether to come or go, and the Ryanair was awful slow. Oh, back to Sinead again, on the weekend that we spent it, on the weekend that we spent it, on the weekend lads we spent in Amsterdam. la. Ho-de-lo-de-la-la-lee, hallo-dee-la-la-la, hallo-dee-la-la-la, oh, who'll hold the dildo, hallo-dee-la-la-la, 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 a child hold the dildo, back to Sinead again, on the weekend that we spent in Amsterdam.
Oh, brilliant. Liam Byrne, you're a gent.
Thanks for having me.
By 150, I'll have learned a bit of Bruce.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
We'll be able to
I was
think
actually,
of
I was listening to him coming along earlier on, and the song from the album you're talking about, Byrne, you were saying, I'm on fire. And you know, have you ever listened to it? Hey, little girl, is your daddy home? Did he go and leave you all alone? Oh, no, I've a bad desire. You wouldn't sing that today. You'd be strung up. You'd be in jail. You wouldn't sing that today.
One last question. What do you think of music today? Like, we just like snorted a whole load of stuff and it's just completely different now, or like?
I don't know. I don't think about. I tell you what I think about music. I don't think music and musicians and everything is brilliant, but I think like so many other things, it's devalued.
Yeah.
You can go into a studio with some wonderful musicians and great songs that mean the world to you, and you put your heart and soul and hundreds or thousands of euro into this album or into these songs, and then people want them for nothing.
Yeah.
And like 15 years ago, I could record an album and get 3 or 4 or 5 boxes of CDs, come and do a gig, and sell a few CDs.
Yeah.
When did you last buy a CD?
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. You go out and buy a flipping new car today, there's not even a CD player in it. Nobody's. So it's really hard for people with great talent, to actually make a living as a musician. That, and the day of the album, a body of work that means something. It's whether it's a commentary, a social commentary, or whether it's a personal biography, or whatever it is, a body of songs with 12 tracks on an album. It's gone now. It's all just song after single,
For a few cents.
And for a few cents, and even, man, I don't know. Yeah, that's what I find disheartening about the music. But the other side of that is, I suppose, live music is where musicians make their few pound, and so I think people still want live music.
Yeah.
But I think the whole end of the album and end of the #1 single, and I think that's what I find most.
Yeah. But this is now long term, right? This is probably, we're talking 20 to 30 years time, right? But there's this thing called an NFT. Have you heard of an NFT?
Oh yeah.
I think like every musician is going to have an NFT, and like if you wanted to support Liam Byrne, you buy your NFT, and then you have.
Didn't Kings of Leon though? Didn't they bring out their last album and tickets on NFT?
Did they?
I think so.
I didn't know that. Did you hear that, Shane? Yeah. Jesus, so it is going that way.
Yeah, I think so. But then, has NFTs not took a big nosedive in the last couple of weeks or something?
Like as people learn more about it, they're realising what is a rug pull and a fake and just there for quick money, and it's just the arse is falling out of it.
Yeah. It's like the internet. Well, this is what the Gary Vee fella says that I'm all over. It's like the internet. The internet crash in 2001 or something.
Right.
All these companies were set up because there was nothing actually behind them. But they knew the internet would be a thing. So like maybe the vast majority of these current NFTs are going to crash, but the NFT technology is going to remain.
Right, okay.
That's the hope anyway, the aspiration.
I don't know.
It has to support the small man. We have to get the small man, front and centre again. I
was gigging recently up in Brook Lodge. I was playing for a gig up there, and the chap behind the bar said, "Have you heard this guy?" He says to me, "Dan McCabe."
All right. Yeah.
You know?
He played in the Riverside Park
Never
Hotel
heard
there
of,
a
never
few
heard
nights
of him.
ago.
So I had to Google. And this guy, and he's doing ballads and he's doing all
Yeah.
the old stuff, right?
Yeah.
And all covers. And he's doing 2 nights in the Riverside, 300 or 400 a night, whatever it is. So fair play to him, you know. He's just found an Easter. He got discovered. I don't know how wide his window of opportunity will be, but yeah.
Yeah. But it's gas like he got a bit of momentum because there was some Sunday game montage and they put his music to the back of it or something.
Okay.
I think maybe he was rising at the same time, I don't know. But then like TikTok is all the rage. Are you on TikTok? No. Like we were talking with Lazy Gold last week, they were a band in Tinnehealy and like they got booked by MCD to play in the academy because of a TikTok surge during the pandemic. But then the gig was there last Saturday and like the same TikTok the trend had
It
passed.
moved on. Past.
Yes.
Yeah. Past. That's it. Your window of opportunity. Like the amount of singers and bands that are going to be around for, 5 or even 10 years. You know, that day is long gone, you know.
Yeah.
But I think it's gone.
Yeah.
It seems to be gone, you know. You're there today and you're gone.
Yeah.
12 months later, you know.
You have to be built different for it. You have to be like, it has to be an inside thing. It can't be a thing of, if this doesn't work out in 2 years, I'm just going to pack it in, or because it's not going to. It's just probably not going to pass, like, you know.
I think for a lot of musicians, a guy said it to me a long time ago, Gavin Ralston, God rest him, he passed away, but Gavin done some recording for me. And Gavin said, we're a cottage industry. We're like someone making cheese, or we're like someone baking bread. You know, you're recording an album, you're going to sell 500 copies over 6 months, you know. Yeah, that's what I think about music. You know, it's devalued. It is devalued. You can have just the greatest musicians, and I just think it's disheartening that you have to kind of give away your craft, which a lot of musicians do. You know. And that craft isn't cheap to produce.
Yeah.
You know, go and record I don't think it's cheap. You know, if you want other musicians with you, everyone has to be paid, of course, and rightly so. But then to produce a CD or whatever music, and then you just don't get paid for it. You know. Maybe, but then I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the other side of it is you put your music on Spotify, and all of a sudden it is available all over the world. You know. Whereas with your CD, maybe it's not, you know. But still, I don't know. I think that's what I feel. That's what I feel about it. You know, I feel musicians have been devalued. Yeah.
Like I'm really looking forward to seeing you on the main street of Gorey in August, and that's one gig in a year, you know.
Yeah.
But it's still going to be special in that there's going to be 10,000 people from your own district there supporting you. But
Even that many.
I'd say I'd put my money on it. Yeah,
yeah. Big ones, huh?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It really, and it's all my parents' age. Are on the street and outside Katie Daly's and that sort of thing. And that's a scene. But long may you thriving.
Oh, thanks.
Long may you thrive.
Thanks. Yeah. Well, you know, I'm just grateful that I still enjoy. I still sitting here and making you laugh, and when you laugh, I laugh. Like there's stories I tell in gigs I've been telling for 15 years, and when I see people laughing at them, I laugh.
Yeah.
So we're all having a laugh.
Yeah.
How bad?
Yeah.
How bad? You know.
Liam Byrne, you're a gentleman. Thanks.
Good luck with the rest of your podcasts, and have a wonderful wedding in Portlaoise.
Thank you.
She's a lucky woman.
What's
her name?
Ashton.
Ash.
Or her name is Ashton.
Ashton.
Ashlyn.
Ashley.
Yeah.
Ashley. Which camera? Middle one? Middle one?
Yeah.
Ashley. What can I say? There are no words. He is a legend. And you're a lucky woman. So, bless the wind that shakes the barley, curse the spade and curse the plough. I count the days, the weeks and the years, and I wish to God I was with you now. Fare thee well, my black hair diamond. Fare thee well, my sweet Ashling. At night fond dreams, you still haunt me, far across the great North Sea. Shane McGowan. Good night.
I think I'm married now.
You're not here, Ashling, but listen, job done.
A COVID wedding.
Yeah, it's socially distanced.